The best of Money Matters. Right Business.
Welcome to The Right Business, where we dive deep into the stories of trailblazers who dare to disrupt the status quo, find the gap in the market to find the right business. Hello, I'm Hongbin Jeong. In the fast-evolving world of veterinary care, one of the biggest hidden challenges isn't just treating animals. It's the mountains of paperwork vets face after every consultation. Vets spend hours each day writing notes and managing records, time that could otherwise be spent caring for their patients. Enter Broby Pets, an innovative startup founded by two Singapore Polytechnic students who saw a chance to bring AI-powered efficiency to veterinary clinics. Recognized as one of the top 100 startups at Echelon Singapore 2025, they're now in the user testing phase, gathering feedback and refining their technology. Today, we're here how these young founders are transforming the way vets work, improving care for pets and efficiency for clinics alike. So joining us today to share more are Hyuga Kuramochi and Caleb Yap Kian Yang, co-founders of Broby Pets. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for joining us. Well, let me start off with Hyuga here. Hyuga, how did Broby Pets begin? I mean, from your initial idea about replacing the Elizabethan collar to your, pivot toward AI-generated vet consultation notes.
Yeah, so everything started with my dog, Brownie. So she had to go through, surgery, and because of that, she had to wear the obnoxious plastic cone. And, because of that, she couldn't eat or drink properly. She couldn't lie down comfortably. You can see that she was having stress and everything. And the thing is, Caleb's dog went through the same thing as well. Yeah, that's how it all kind of started with the idea. And then we thought, there has to be a better way to fix this issue. So we got to work. We created this patch with healing properties.
Okay.
And the USP was this bitter layer to stop dogs from licking, the infected areas.
Oh.
And, we proposed this idea to dog owners. And they were like, oh, this is amazing, But yeah, so at that point, we thought we had it out. We figured it out, But we started talking to vets and, things took a turn. So we had a conversation with Dr. Daniel, who's now our advisor. He told us that he tried something similar before, but in a gel form. Yeah, the dog licked it, vomited, and lick it again and things like that. And the thing is, because ours is going to be a patch, the dogs could have eaten it, and that would have caused a lot of trouble for us. So, that's when we realized our perfect solution, in a sense, couldn't, work out, and, it could actually harm the animals that we're trying to help. So after this conversation, Caleb and I had to step back and rethink everything. We looked back at every visit, and we noticed something interesting. So every time we visit the clinics to, get feedback of our product, they always ask us to wait a while because they're finishing up their consultation notes. And, we talked to them about it. So what is this consultation notes thing? And turns out they spend close to 2 hours every single day after working hours, having to type everything out. And that's when, it hit us. There is a massive problem right in front of our eyes where vets are willing to pay to solve, to not have to write these notes anymore. And they can spend that additional time looking after more dogs, or they can just go back home earlier to their loved ones. So yeah, that's why we pivoted completely to the AI medical scribe. And yeah, we're saving close to 40 hours a month per vet.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, they can spend more time taking care of animals instead of drowning in paperwork.
Okay, I mean, it's very interesting. I thought you guys would tell me that you've interned at a vet and then realized that, they were having a lot of, paperwork. But it was one idea that you guys had that didn't really become plausible, and then you change and pivot to a new idea, which is quite interesting. But Caleb, with your conversations, with different clinics, what challenges do vets, typically face when it comes to managing medical records, and why is this such an important area to improve?
In their case, actually, maintaining eye contact and attention during the consult is something really important to them, but they struggle with it a lot because they do have to juggle with, let's say, examining the patient, talking to the owner, as well as remembering all of the different details of this consultation. Because these consultation documents or medical records is actually something really important. One is for legal compliance, and two, like what we mentioned, medical records. So they know what they have done, what the patient's history is. And legal compliance-wise, it is something mandatory enforced by the government, but it also serves as legal protection, because if, let's say, someone accuses them for malpractice or there's a potential lawsuit, these consult documents actually serve as crucial evidence to show like, hey, I did not do this, and it protects them from lawsuits. So without it, it could be really dangerous. And it's very important to actually improve this, as like what Hyuga mentioned, they do spend many hours after working time, let's say late into the night. An example can actually be our partner, Dr. Vanessa, where I think about 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. she'd be like, hey, I just finished doing my consult documents, and we're like, what? It's like so late right now. Why are you still there? That's why it's really important as one, mental well-being, so they can go home on time and not spend so much on actually focusing on the ML work, but more like what matters of actually the patient.
Right. As people who own pets, we don't really know what goes behind the scenes and the challenges that they're struggling. But before we get into what exactly Broby Pets do, I mean, you guys both started this venture while still studying, juggling schoolwork with the demands of startup life, which is amazing. I just want to start off by asking you, Hyuga, how did you guys meet and decide to team up for Broby Pets?
So we met as classmates in year 1 at Singapore Polytechnic, and we got along pretty well from the start, similar interests. And at the time, I was already looking for a co-founder to work on a new startup with. I'd done, some things in the past, and, I want to start a new thing. And Caleb was also interested in starting a startup. So pretty much we were both on the same page about wanting to build something from day one. And, as we started working on school projects together, I learned more about his character. And honestly, I was quite impressed by it, because a lot of people, they say they do this, but it turns out they don't really do it. Like, they're not a man of their words, But, Caleb was pretty much a man of his word, and he got things done. He walked the talk. And what really stood out was his emotional maturity. Unlike some of our peers, he could take constructive criticism and use that feedback to improve himself instead of getting defensive. Yeah, I guess the cherry on top was that he had this let's try it out mentality. He didn't have a limiting mindset. So we are business students, and because of that, we don't really have technical expertise. And that willingness, like, let's try it out, we don't know anything, but let's start something new, was something that is very crucial for us, as business students. And yeah, that's when I knew, he was the right person to work on a startup with. Also found out he had a dog, and he has a dog. And we thought, why not start a pet startup or something like that?
Oh, well, Caleb, I mean, Hyuga seemed to be very impressed by you and your way of juggling everything. So how do you do it?
I think a very important lesson that everyone says is always time management, but it's something I enforce very strictly. As besides this startup and my academics, I actually do breakdancing on the side. So I practice every day from about 6 to 10 p.m. and I also teach classes on the side every weekend. So I think because I had these endeavors and goals, it actually was something I was doing very often of time management, because I have a very strict mindset of if I want to do something and it's something in a certain period, I have to do it no matter what. And if I don't, then there is a problem, or maybe I should make it up for another day. So time management was something really important. So you can ask Hyuga, from morning to let's say the late evening, I'm working on the startup and also focusing on my academics. And from 6 to 10, I'm always offline, because I'm just focused on what is at hand, which is my dance. And after I'm done with dancing and actually going home, after dinner, I also do my startup once again, because it is something really important to us and we really want to achieve it. And that's why, to me, I feel time management is very important, because without it, then I could not excel in any of these endeavors I want to.
Right, and this is how Broby Pets was born. So let's talk more about it. How does it really work from the moment a vet starts recording to having a complete medical record by using Broby Pets, Hyuga?
So Broby Pets is a software, and it's really simple to use. So when vets start a consultation with the owner, they just have to hit the record button on our software, and it will proceed with the examination as usual. So they don't need to do anything special with the software or anything, and they can speak in any language they're comfortable with: English, Mandarin, Malay, even mixed languages, which was the case for Dr. Daniel. And so our AI captures everything in real time, and within 5 seconds of ending the consultation, the veterinarian will have a complete, professionally formatted medical record ready to go. So they're literally saving hours, of work every single day thanks to that. And the best part is it's really simple to use, because our interface looks something like Excel. So vets who are already familiar with spreadsheets can jump right in, and the learning curve, thanks to that, is pretty much non-existent, which means they can start saving time from day one without training at all.
Okay, here's my question. Well, when we have even a Zoom call, even Zoom, kind of records what we're saying and then comes up with kind of the details of what the meeting was. So how different is it? Why can't we just use a different AI tool that just records, these conversations? Why do we have to use Broby Pets for vets?
The main difference with, let's say, Zoom's, I don't know if they had the AI feature to summarize things. The key differentiator is the keywords. So veterinarians use lots of technical, pretty much jargons to everyone else. And a lot of the run-of-the-mill kind of things can't catch that. So let's say if it is parvovirus, then it will be some random something virus or things like that. That's one of the main part. Caleb will probably explain a bit more later.
Okay.
But our AI has been trained to make sure that it can understand all these technical jargons. And when it's summarizing using our AI, they can import their template. So, vets, they have their way of writing their whole consultation notes. And they need it to be in a specific format.
Okay.
So our system, you just need to import the template. And when you click End Consult, you just need to choose that template that you want and you get it.
Okay, very interesting. Well, Caleb, Hyuga said that you will explain more about the technical jargon that this AI can pick up. So how does your AI handle this complex language from, veterinary language?
So it's really contextual understanding. So let's say for us, whenever we learn something, we learn the ABCs of it. We learn the foundation. So for AI, it's similar. We have to give it an understanding and a foundation first before it can actually execute a lot better. So for all of these jargons, for all of these medical terminologies, we actually gather a lot of data from all of our vet partners, from all of the different consultations. We actually get all of the keywords, the jargons, the contextual understanding of it, the scenarios, and all of the meanings, and we really feed it into the AI so it can understand. And basically, whenever it encounters a certain scenario similar to it or a certain keyword similar to it, it won't be I have no idea what's going on, but it's hey, I've seen this before, I know what it means, and I can actually transcribe it properly. And we also iterate this many times and have a feedback loop. So how it works is that the more you use our system, actually, the smarter and more accurate it gets. So it's never stagnant, it's always evolving.
Okay, so you guys are currently in the user testing and data validation phase. So Hyuga, what feedback have vets and clinics shared with you so far?
All right, so good news. We are no longer in the user testing phase or anything like that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we moved beyond that. So we have paying customers across Singapore and Malaysia, and we've incorporated as well, which has been a huge milestone for us. And when it comes to the feedback we've been getting, it's been great. So the most exciting thing that vets tell us is about the time we're saving for them. So one of our advisors, Dr. Vanessa, she's the head vet at My Family Vet Clinic, and she works insane hours, just like what Caleb told you just now, and often past midnight. And the huge chunk of that is just typing consultation notes. So when we showed her our software, that they could cut the time of that drastically, she was genuinely excited about it because it meant that she could spend more time looking after more dogs, go home earlier, and so it's been great. And the numbers back it up. On average, we save 40 hours for vets. And every time a vet tells us we've made their life easier, that keeps us going, And at the end of the day, we are helping the people who take care of our pets get back to their families quicker. And that's really what drives us.
Right. I mean, saving 40 hours plus is a lot of time that you're saving here. So, Caleb, what were some of the toughest technical hurdles you faced in developing your AI transcription model, though?
So one of our main USPs and actually our biggest hurdle was the multi-language and dialect understanding. Because as you know, Singapore's a multiracial country. There's many languages, there's many dialects spoken. So AI actually capturing this is really difficult as it's mainly focused and understanding of English. However, let's say when we speak, the way we pronounce words, there's a lot of, let's say, Mandarin, a lot of Hokkien inside it. And because of that, it causes the AI to hallucinate. It's when it listens to the way we speak and the way we pronounce certain things, it's I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just going to feed random stuff and take a guess. So that constantly happening was really challenging, as whenever there is misinformation in the consult document, it is a really big danger.
Right.
So we actually spent a lot of time surpassing that through training, through testing, and through validating with the vet. And that was honestly a real headache, but I'm really glad we got it out of the way and it's a lot better and always evolving. Because right now, I think about 9 out of 10 consult documents have 100% accuracy. And the one that is not as accurate needs maybe 1 or 2 minor changes. So honestly, it's really good now.
Yeah, the attention to detail is amazing here. And being named one of the top 100 startups at Echelon Singapore 2025 must be a big validation for Broby Pets' innovation and potential. So, Hyuga, what did it mean to you to be recognized at Echelon, and how has that exposure impacted your journey?
Well, being recognized at Echelon was huge validation for us. It meant that we are building something that people actually want and that there's real interest in what we are doing. And, all of this couldn't have happened without, Singapore Polytechnic, because they covered our participation and really believed in what we are building. But, again, truth be told, we might not even have had a viable product to showcase at Echelon without, help from other, people. One of the biggest supporters we have is Young Founders Summit. So I was part of the 2024 cohort from December to June, and the support system was really critical during our pivot because, when we realized that our original cone idea wasn't working in March, and, we were quite devastated by it, and without YFS, mentorship and support, it was going to be pretty tough. But, thanks to them, we managed to pivot in April, and honestly, without their help, Echelon itself, we might not even have been there. So going back to Echelon, we had this planned investor meetings, and that was really intense because I got grilled with all sorts of what if scenarios, and that really challenged me because a lot of these questions were something that I haven't fully thought through of how we need to overcome these future obstacles. And, I must say that these conversations, while tough, made us stronger and more prepared for the future. And, right now we are thinking several steps ahead instead of just trying to solve the immediate problem in front. And, the exposure through Echelon helped us a lot as well when it came to reaching out to vets and clinics. So all in all, it was an amazing experience. Really grateful to everyone.
Right. And adding on here, Caleb, how are you using this momentum to build partnerships or gain investor interest?
So I think like what he mentioned, it really helped us strengthen our foundation and understanding. And it also made us aware that execution is key. Because we are both overthinkers in a sense where we tend to analyze and perfect things as much as we can. So Echelon giving the momentum actually made us understand that we have to execute as much as possible. So immediately after Echelon, we went contacting vets. We went testing even more and actually trying to start incorporating, which is what we did just recently. So I think the momentum was crucial in this execution as we got a lot more validation and a lot more standing, because now it's not just like an idea that we think will work, it's actually something people are paying for and we are actually helping them.
Right. Amazing. Well, before I let you guys go here, what are your key goals for Broby Pets over the next, say, 12 months? And what's next?
All right. So we have 4 key goals right now, 2 of which we'll be achieving it by December this year. So the 2 will be... so the first one is expanding to Japan. So aside from growing our user base in Singapore and Malaysia, we are working with vets in Japan right now to bring our product there by December. And one really exciting thing that is going to come up is we are in midst of creating a physical product, which will be an add-on to our software. And the exciting thing is this will make the whole user experience 10 times better, more efficient. So we're really excited to bring this out to the veterinarians. And so the other 2 goals, we are looking into data. So we gather all these animal data from the consultations, and we're planning on using it for good use, like research or just improving veterinary care overall. So that's another thing we're looking into. And lastly, it's expansion to new markets. So our system can be used for human health professionals as well. So doctors, dentists, and for this whole process, we will need to gather investors and things like that, because we need to get all these regulations and things that we need to set up, because human data is very strict.
Right.
So in order for us to set that up, we do need our investors. So we are looking for the right person, right investors to, bring this thing to new markets. So, if there's anyone listening to this that's interested, hey, hit us up,
Would you end up changing the name from Broby Pets if you enter into the market of humans?
Oh, yeah. So to give a bit of context, so our thing is, so we incorporated as Broby Private Limited.
Okay.
And for veterinarians, it's called Broby Vets. So if you go brobyvets.com, you go to the veterinarian web, like the software side.
Okay.
And yeah, if you're making it for doctors, it'll be, I don't know, Broby doctors, stuff like that. Yeah, we'll figure things out.
You guys will figure it out. Well, thank you so much both for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was Hyuga Kuramochi and Caleb Yap Kian Yang, who are the co-founders of Broby Pets. This has been The Right Business with me, Hongbin Jeong.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.